our senior arts laureates. So I want to turn it over to Matt Hall, who's the dean of the senior class, who will introduce the senior arts laureates.
Good afternoon. First, we have Colin Barham. Colin's been acting his entire life. He debuted in the theater in the 6th grade as the creepy guy who sings Arabian Nights in the beginning of Aladdin. Since coming to Pace in 9th grade, Colin has been in 14 shows and received several awards, including the Rising Star Award for his role as Frank Hardy in Durang Durang, Best Actor in a Leading Role for his portrayal as Gary Lejeune in Noises Off, and Best Actor in a Supporting Role for his work as Perchik in Fiddler on the Roof. Colin also sings with the upper school chorus and is in the octet and troubadours ensembles. He's also served as the assistant director for the middle school and directed the fall show Canned Hamlet. Colin wishes to pursue acting as a career and will attend the NYU Tisch School of the Arts next year to study acting. He hopes that 5 years from now, when you see him in New York, all of you will remember this monologue and tip him really well after he serves you your dinner. Please welcome Colin Barham.
Is my domain, and I am its superhero. They call me HeftyMan, for I am of exceptional girth and I bring heavy tidings. Woe to all those who defy me, for I have superpowers, and they're really scary. This is the story of how I defeated an evil gang of bullies known as the Cold Shoulder Crew a few short days ago. As an effective storytelling tool, I will now refer to myself only in the third person, like Spike Lee, or the artist formerly known as Prince. It began on a day much like today. HeftyMan was riding around on his trusted sidekick, Boomer. Boomer is HeftyMan's 3-speed Schwinn bicycle with a long red banana seat shaped like a saddle. He also has those little things that you put in the spokes that make them click, which make HeftyMan feel cool. Some people say that this makes HeftyMan look like a girl, but he knows that they inspire fear and envy in all those who don't have them. Anyways, HeftyMan then dismounted Boomer and began to walk in a tight figure-8 pattern as to avoid tennis ball projectiles and red playground balls thrown in his direction in anger. Like this. But the Cold Shoulder Crew could only be trusted for one thing: to be even. The Cold Shoulder Crew consisted of several heartless villains whose sole purpose was to give HeftyMan the cold shoulder. First, we have Michael Gannon, or as HeftyMan likes to refer to him as, the Creepy Cortex. As you may have surmised, he's the brains of the CSC, and his skills lie in his ingenuity for cruelty. His powers include wonder wedgies and monster moonings, and he puts the P in peer pressure. Then there's Jonathan Day, or as HeftyMan calls him, Sir Snotsalot. He smells like poop and can fling boogers at a distance of 15 feet. His powers lie in annoyance. Tommy Hattori is the silver-tongued member of the CSC. I call him Weenie Head. He will often say cleverly phrased things to HeftyMan during class, like, "You tooted! You totally farted!" And then everyone in class will laugh at HeftyMan, when HeftyMan did not in fact fart. Then, there's the most evil member of the CSC, Albinoid. HeftyMan does not know what regular people call him, but his powers lie in unpredictability, and he's really big. Despite these awful enemies, HeftyMan has superpowers of his own, and he will now share with you how he defeated all of them. It began when HeftyMan was riding around the playground and was playing on the little parallel bar thingies. HeftyMan was swinging back and forth because this helps him become stronger. Then, with all the foreboding of an unpleasant bathroom visit, the CSC approaches. It is very unlikely to see all of them in one place at one time, but there they were. HeftyMan was sensing an altercation of mammoth proportions was ahead of him. And then, he started to follow the rule of the jungle gym, where there are 4, flee, or your butt will be kicked. HeftyMan mounted Boomer and began to ride away, when Creepy Cortex reached out his hand and grabbed the handlebars, but spoke to him in a civil manner, which confused HeftyMan, for Cortex rarely spoke to his victims. He said, "Hey, HeftyMan, how about you go back to swinging? That looked kind of cool." HeftyMan was frightened and a bit confused, but he hoped that finally the CSC had accepted him for who he really was. So he dismounted Boomer, went over to the parallel bars, and began swinging. But right as HeftyMan got a good swing in, Creepy Cortex pulled his shorts down to his ankles. A full mooning in broad daylight. This was a sad moment for HeftyMan. He began to walk away, feeling stupid and embarrassed, and wondered if he would ever rid himself of these terrible enemies. And then, Albinoid uttered the words that would lead to him discovering his superpowers. "Hey, HeftyMan, fight me." HeftyMan did not know what to do, because surely if he engaged in battle with Albinoid, his butt would be kicked. HeftyMan then racked his brain for some way to get out of it, and thought to himself, the Peacemaker quote from the Jungle Gym Law. HeftyMan then said, "I'm not gonna fight you, man. I don't like fighting." HeftyMan then began to walk away, expecting some type of ridicule, for this is the only thing that Albinoid can do at this juncture. He was expecting something to the likeness of, "Chicken! Chicken! Chicken!" But then something unexpected happened. Albinoid broke the Jungle Gym Law. He jumped onto HeftyMan and began pounding his face with his long and powerful arms over and over again. This filled HeftyMan with rage, the rage of years of ridicule spewing out, and he gained the power of 13 superheroes. And with a whoop-ha, cha-cha, wah, gah, his enemy lied in a bloody pulp beneath him. HeftyMan then looked down and realized that he may have gone a little too far. He mounted Boomer, then rode to the nearest bathroom, got some napkins, rode back, and gave them to Albinoid. For the law of the Jungle Gym says, if a parent can tell that you beat up his kid, you're in deep doo-doo. He gave the napkins to Albinoid. Albinoid then looked at him and said, "Get lost, man." And there the CSC was defeated, and a new law of the Jungle Gym reigned. Don't mess with the fat kid.